These are the Chat City interviews from 103.2 Preston FM.
Wherever you're listening in the world this morning, lots of listeners worldwide, so wherever you are, be it Preston and South Ribble, or even New York, because we do have quite a few listeners in New York, wherever you are, it's lovely to have you with us on Chat City. Preston FM 103.2, TuneIn Radio and online. And in the studio right now is my last guest this morning, and it's Gill Millington, and Gill is from Biz in a Box. Very unusual name, Gill, so a very good morning.
And a good morning to you too.
Lovely to meet you. Tell us a little about Biz in a Box.
Biz in a Box was set up to get startups going quickly, smoothly. We provide them with a package. So by the name, we're into startups, and we just like to make sure they're getting a good deal and not being fobbed off.
Right. So when you say startups, I mean, is this for people, say, for people listening who are thinking about starting up their own business for the first time? Is it around support in that way?
Yeah, we offer them the facilities so that they can start their business off small, maybe test the water. Maybe they don't want to stick thousands upon thousands of pounds into something. So we give them the facilities to go out and start networking, test the water. So we give them a website, business cards, logo, stick them in front of an accountant, get them set up with the revenue, legal and everything, and just let them go out and either test, or they can keep coming back to us, and we provide them on to various suppliers that we know and trust, mostly local to this area, who can help them out and make sure that they aren't persuaded to part with more money than they need to. Yes,
and I'm sure that certainly is an important point. And given that we've been in the recession for quite a few years, and it's been a very difficult time, hopefully the green shoots of the future are beginning to appear. Is it now quite a good time for people who maybe have been worried about setting up business to visit it again and to consider doing that?
There's a lot of support out there that's being given to people. For instance, once upon a time, if you were struggling and you needed some finances, you had to sort of be under the age of 30 and visit the Prince's Trust. The Prince's Trust has now set up a thing called Prime, because it's aimed at the over 50s. So if you're over 50s, you've now got funding. And the government, of course, is throwing into lots of money to the startup loan scheme. Richard Branson at Virgin, he's also getting involved and he's throwing money. You've got your James Cairns with your business schools. They're all trying to get things moving, because basically small business, I wouldn't say is the backbone of this country, but there's certainly a lot more small businesses than people realise, and they are the ones at the moment that are keeping things ticking over.
I'm sure you're correct there, because we do take it for granted, probably, don't we, the amount of small businesses that there are around. I mean, you only have to look locally here in Preston and walk up and down some of the side streets off Fishergate and look at some of the local businesses and the local companies that are around.
There's some wonderful... I don't live in Preston, so I only come here when nice people ask me to be on the radio or I go into work. But yeah, walking around the streets today, it's lovely to see some individual shops that are not part of chains. And I just wish people would get out there and use them, because you'll get personalised service. They'll be happy to see you. You'll get everything you want from them. They'll go that extra mile for you. Whereas the chains, 9 times out of 10, the people serving you might be sullen, might be sour-faced. At least with the small shops, you can form a relationship, so you can keep going back and they'll do deals for you. So, everyone out there, please go and support local businesses in that way.
And without kind of support, what are sometimes the pitfalls that people, maybe don't really consider seriously when they're looking at starting up in business?
I think a lot of people are under the misconception that it's very difficult to get started. It's not. You don't have to form a limited company if you don't want to. You can be a good old sole trader or a partner with someone. You just need to make sure that you keep the good old revenue happy, the HMRC, the taxman. Let him know what's going on. He doesn't ask you to fill in thousands of forms if you're sole trader. He doesn't ask you to pay vast amounts of money for the sheer delight of running a business. But yeah, people seem to think that you should go somewhere and pay a couple of £100 to form a limited company. It's not the case anymore. You do some research on the internet and you come to events like we're organising on Thursday and sit and listen and find out what's going on there, and hopefully we can help people go in the right direction.
And I know from talking to people that sometimes a worry is finding a decent bank manager that you can talk to. I am of a certain age, she said in inverted commas, which means I'm not 22 anymore. Gone are the days of the bank manager these days. Excuse me, sorry. So the bank manager's gone. It's a business manager that will handle certain size businesses. It's quite good to get in and have a chat with them, form a relationship. That still happens in most of the banks. But they, at the end of the day, will still have to refer you on to their manager to make any decisions. So before you get to the bank manager, it's always good to make sure that you know all your figures, you've done all your sums, you've done everything, so you can answer any question they're going to throw at you, thus not wasting as much time as could possibly be. Mm. And these days, how important is social media?
Oh, vastly important.
Do you think people underestimate how important it could be if you are going into business?
I think people think they have to be on social media without sitting and thinking what they're going to be doing on it. So, for instance, if you're heading to Twitter and you're just thinking, I'm just going to send out loads of information, blah, 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 people switch off, it becomes white noise, they stop listening, they stop watching. A lesson to be learned is, depending what business you're in, you've got your big companies, I know I said you shouldn't go to big companies, but anyhow, big companies such as your T-Mobiles, your Vodafones, all your big phone companies, all your big organisations, they actually use social media in two different ways. They'll run the competitions on Facebook and get everybody to join in and post up information. But on Twitter, that's when they're handling the customer service. They're keeping an eye out for their name. They're responding to customer complaints, and they're dealing with them quicker than if you were to phone them in or write them a letter or email them.
Right. And as you just mentioned there, you've got the Lancashire Startup Exhibition, and it's this Thursday, the 3rd of April, and it's where's that being held then, Jill? It's
in the Sir Tom Finney stand at Preston North End, so spread over 3 floors with lots of free parking. Now, it starts officially at 9 o'clock in the morning, but we don't expect people to be battering the door down at 9 in the morning, but
you
yes.
Never know.
Yes, you're right. We've got lots of speakers up. We've got 3 brilliant speakers on who are going to tell us how to go about running our business the best way. We've got Andy Preston, who's he's a sales guru. He's an international one. He's usually overseas in Dubai or South Africa training people. So it's a pleasure to be actually getting while he's in the country to come and do a little spiel for us. So we've also got Mike Ode. He's coming along to do some various he's bringing his vinyls. Now, for anyone under the age of 25, they're sort of black round things used to play music out of them.
We actually have 2 record players, if they still call them record players, in the studio for our vinyls, would you believe?
Yep, so he's bringing his vinyls down to do a speech on how to manage change. So he's obviously going to use them as a prop. But it should be interesting watching to see the reaction of some of the younger members of our audience, what they're going to make of it. And then we've got a lady called Isla Wilson coming down. She's going to talk about oomph.
Oomph. What on earth is oomph?
She believes in umphology, putting the oomph into your business.
Yes.
So it's all about making it a slightly little different, making it so that people want to come back to you by giving it that little bit of oomph.
Oomph, that's right.
It's a wonderful word, isn't it?
I shall be thinking of that word all day now. Oomph. So who's the day? It is a day, is it? Who's it aimed at?
It's aimed at small businesses, one-man bands and startups. If you've just started or you're just thinking, come down. We've got an exhibition hall full of stands from all local businesses and also government agencies. We've got, Companies House coming down. And I've now gone totally blank after having spent the last 3 months doing this. We've got all sorts of people coming down. It's certainly worth a visit to us.
And I mean, it's open to anyone?
Anyone can come down, yes. You simply turn up. We might ask you for a little bit of information, like, your name, so that we just want to be friendly. It doesn't cost you anything to get in. You get given a little programme goodie bag. You can work out which seminars you want to go to, if you want to learn about HR, if you want to learn about numbers to do with the tax man. We've got McDade Roberts doing a seminar on Are You Frightened of Numbers?
Wow. Yes, I'd be attending that one, I can tell you. Yes, I'd been on that one.
Yeah.
And is it the first time this has been held?
Yep, first one ever. Biz in a Box, because we deal with startups, we usually head to London to the Business Startup Exhibition down at the Excel, which is fantastic, and it's a rather large scale, and you've got, the Excel itself is massive. There used to be something-ish aimed at people in Manchester, but they don't even do that anymore. So we thought, we're not fed up of going to London, why don't we have one ourselves? And of course, Lancashire is a very vibrant county now. It is up and coming. There is a buzz in Preston, Chorley, Leyland, all around. Even Lancaster's buzzing now. So, let's make a bit of a shout and a fuss and do it ourselves. Show them how to do it.
Well, it certainly sounds like a good idea. What do you think puts people off? People who do want to start their own business, and I'm sure there's lots of people listening who have thought it from time to time. What are the things I'm sure it must be easier in a way when you come along to days like this and that there's lots of support there for you. But what's probably the things that really put you off going into business?
The main thing is usually you've had your eureka moment, or you've been made redundant and you're thinking, I'm on the scrap heap, what do I need to do? And you think, I can do X, Y and Z. Brilliant. Now, where do I go? What do I do? And you're all on your own, and you do feel very lonely, and it can be. So, we have lots of things going on at the exhibition to show you that you don't have to be on your own. We've got a lady, Carmen Parkinson. She's a networking guru in the area. Most people who are in business will have heard of her. She's coming down to explain to you how you network, because people are always scared. You've got an idea, you're thinking about your business, you need to tell the world about it, you're frightened of walking into a room full of strangers because you think everyone's going to stare at you, point at you and laugh and go, ha ha. It's not the case. So she's coming down to do that as well, to explain how you get the most out of being in a room full of people, how you can form friendships even. Some of my best friends I've found from business meetings, and we go on to socialise as well as do business together.
And, it's going to be a brilliant way of networking, isn't it, of meeting other people. It's going to be brilliant for networking. And I take it there'll be lots of opportunities for people to ask questions for maybe things that they are quite worried about or not too sure how to proceed with.
Oh, yeah. For instance, when people come in, they'll be seeing little notices up about we've got an app, which for the over 45s is something you put on your phone when you use your smartphone. So, yes, we're appealing to everyone here, aren't we, vinyls and apps?
Right, yes.
It's an app that we've got, which is going to send out, as soon as you go in the room, you switch it on, and it tells you things that are happening. So if you're on the second floor in a seminar and somebody's doing something in the exhibition hall, you get a little notification, so you can think to yourself, I fancy going up there in a minute, so you just head up. So we've got that running through the day, which keeps you informed, and we're encouraging everyone to download it and get with it. But we've also got a tweet wall going on. The lovely company DigiEnable are running our tweet wall for us in the big room, you see. And we're going to encourage as many people as possible. We're going to do a selfie wall.
A selfie wall?
Yep, why not? Everybody else is doing it. I don't think we'll quite get to the magnitude of Ellen DeGeneres' one for the Oscars, but no, we're going to have a selfie wall. So we're going to have everybody taking as many selfies as they want, and then we're going to make up a big storybook of them. So everybody can go back in the day and find out, which stall they were at, what they were doing, etc.
Lovely. Right, so there you are, you see. This is happening Thursday the 3rd of April 2014, and it's at Preston North End Football Ground, and you can go there and find out all about the support and the help available for you. And Gill, where can people find out more? We're talking about vinyl, we're talking about Twitter, we're talking about apps. Where can people then, over the next few days, go to find out all the stuff we've just been talking about?
We've got a website that's quite simple to remember, bizinbox.co.uk.
Wow, you see, after all that, it's so simple. So again, it's what?
bizinbox.co.uk. chatcityislive.co.uk.
OK, Gill, thank you very much for coming in this morning, and I'm sure it'll be a success. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to our podcasts. But don't forget, Chat City is live weekdays from 10 till noon on 103.2 Preston FM.